Do you believe, as a result of these revelation, that things need to change in how this political advertising works and is delivered?
Sure. I mean, the biggest takeaway I had, I think, from listening to the hearings and just in conversations I've had here is that this is a really complex issue, right? So we're focused, at the beginning, it was really focused around the advertising. And I think Senator Warner and Senator Burr brought in the national security implications of some of the organic things that are happening. So for me, I see a very complex, both ad side and organic side of what these companies are facing.
Keith, what's your response to that?
Well, the most interesting thing I saw today was how actually the ads were on both sides, meaning the viewers pro-Clinton and pro-Trump, like extremists on both sides. Basically, it looked like, as someone else summed up, the Russians were really trying to sue chaos, not as much as pro-Trump as I had believed before. And so they were more trying to create a mess in the United States. It looks like ideological mess, more chaotic environment, than actually have one candidate elected at the expense of the other, which is more interesting, more provocative, and somewhat more complicated than the mainstream media has covered so far.
Now, Anton, some folks say that the ads really aren't the problem at all. The broader problem, as Senator Mark Warner said, is misinformation. What do you think?
I think that can be a problem. I think Senator Warner is probably right, where advertising was a small part of what people should be talking about in the run-up to the election. So a lot of those organic posts and the way those are distributed probably should be a bigger focus on what folks are talking about.
There's also some discussion about whether companies like Google should rethink political contributions. Of course, many Googlers contributed to the campaigns, especially to Hillary Clinton's campaign. Is that something that you believe the company should reconsider?
I think you're running down a pretty slippery slope on those types of things. I think what's really important for these companies to focus on right now is that one of the things I was really shocked by is some of the lack of knowledge, I think, across maybe regulators and legislators and their staff about how these companies work. And I think there needs to be an effort to better educate the difference between advertising and impressions and views and paid versus organic. This is all relatively new for members of Congress and for regulators and legislators. And I think they can even turn to some of the younger members within their conferences to talk to them about how to better use these platforms.